The trade setup was perfect. It was super clear. Everything was good. And I sat on my hands. I didn't take the trade. And of course, off like a rock, it would have been a phenomenal winner. If that's ever happened to you, this might be the episode you want to watch because I'm going to break down why that happens, what's going on sometimes, and then three concrete strategies to combat that. Hi, I'm Dean Jenkins with Follow Me Trades, and this series is called "It's Not a Chart Problem." And today's episode is called "Under Trading: The Cost of Hesitation." And so let's get into how does that happen? Why does that happen? What can we do about that? So there's two main overriding emotions in trading that can distort trading: fear and greed. Greed is doing what I shouldn't do, taking trades I shouldn't take, too big of a position size, all kinds of stuff. So we're not talking about that here. We're talking about fear. Fear is not doing what I should do, which is like take good, clear, obvious trade setups that meet my trading plan. Both of these, fear and greed, distort trading. They just do it in different ways. So why do we hesitate? Here's some thoughts and ideas. I've talked to hundreds of traders. I've been doing this a long time myself. Okay, it could be a recent loss. The last trade we took had a great setup. Maybe it looked the same, and it didn't win. Well, that's part of trading. Not every trade's gonna win. So we need to accept that before we're going to be successful traders. Okay, but we could just go, man, this is what happened last time. I didn't like it. So it could just be causing us to hesitate. Waiting for certainty. I want it to be perfect. I want it to be certain. Well, there's no certainty in trading. There's only probability. So we have to establish clear criteria for a trade. And then when it's met, take the trade. Okay. And then bigger expectations attached. So this is a whole kind of deep topic, but many people are trading, we want to make profit. It's the main goal, but it's attached to something larger. A lifestyle change, some freedom. Maybe I could quit my job or I could do things that I want to do. And if I've had a couple losses, it can really start to undermine that and maybe challenge that. It's like, man, I thought trading was going to do this for me, and I really don't want any more evidence that it can't or won't. So there's some bigger expectations beyond just this trade and whether it's going to win or lose. So that can cause some hesitancy. And the good news is, maybe certainly a lot of promotions for trading overblow what's possible. But we can make good, consistent, solid profit that can make, that can change our lives in some positive ways. But we got to be realistic and we got to be disciplined about it. Okay. So we could hesitate because of losses, waiting for certainty, or this idea of, there's these bigger expectations attached that we need to be realistic about, okay? And fear can dress itself up as a responsibility. It's, I'm not going to take this until it's perfect because I'm being responsible in my trading. It's important to look closely into that and go, am I just covering up? I'm just afraid because of a recent loss or, whatever. So we just got to be straight with ourselves as we do this. Okay. The cost of hesitation, obviously we're going to miss some high quality trades, and it's super frustrating to spend time and to scan for things and look for setups and see a great trade, not take it. And then, of course the thing wins. That can be very frustrating. And, so we want to capitalize on that work and what we've trained ourselves to do. It can erode our confidence, right? If our system isn't performing, we're not taking trades, we're afraid, the P&L is going to be undermined, and, it can lead to then, fine, I'll just go pull the trigger, right? And on the next trade that comes up, we don't want to do that. And it can create this negative feedback loop, even paralysis. The trade looked great. I took it. It lost. The next one better be better. And oh, it lost. Right? That's a negative feedback loop. Some trades are going to lose. That's just a reality. So how successful traders handle this is the key, is, we have predefined setups and predefined risk. So there's a very clear objective, whatever indicators you're using on the chart, whatever patterns you're looking for, that's clear, it's well-defined, it's objective, hopefully written down. Check, 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 check. Okay, it's good. And predefined risk. I only go into a trade if I know how much I can lose on the trade, and that amount is an acceptable amount. So it may lose. That's a probable or, a possible outcome is it will lose. That amount has to be an acceptable amount. So we have to accept that reality before we take the trade. Before we go in, it could lose. Okay. And then if we are finding ourselves anxious about putting on trades, maybe because of what's happened recently or some other area, we can reduce the position size, put less capital in the trade. Don't just arbitrarily tighten the stop. That just increases the probability of getting stopped out, even though the trade was good. Put less capital in so that if it does fail, it will lose less money. You kind of take the sting out of it, and you have a chance to develop some confidence. And build confidence through execution, not outcome. The real reward we want is I followed my system. Win, lose, or draw, right? I managed that trade correctly. I took it for the right reasons. I took the right actions during the trade, and I exited at the right place. Okay? And if it's a well-designed trading system, then it will produce profit over a number of trades. So that's where we want to build our confidence. So hopefully that's helpful for you. If you find yourself hesitating to take a trade, sitting on your hands, the big ones get away. So try to put some of that stuff into practice. If you found this helpful, there's a link at the end to some risk management videos. I talked about that to go into more detail, and then to the rest of this series. It's not a chart problem. All right, thanks.